Hello, beautiful people. I'm Ayda. Welcome to Unconventional Counseling. It's so good to have you here. If you are part of the tribe and you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to see you. And if you're brand new and you're wondering what this is about, welcome. We're gonna find out. I got a message for y'all. So, there is a full moon in Aquarius on August 11th or 12th, depending on your time zone. And this full moon is bringing in so much energy. It's transiting Saturn in Aquarius. So the full moon is going to be at 19 degrees and the Saturn in Aquarius is going to be at 22 degrees. They're just 3 degrees apart from each other. So with the full moon's entire transit through Aquarius, it's going to be passing over Saturn, who I like to call Daddy Saturn. So this is why I'm wearing my daddy cap. This is why I'm wearing a blush pink tracksuit, just to call in some softness, but also some firmness, because we got some things to talk about. So we recently had a conjunction in Taurus with the North Node, Mars, and Uranus, who's been hanging out in Taurus and is gonna be in Taurus for about 8 years. And Uranus and Taurus don't love each other. They don't. Uranus is actually really reminiscent of Aquarian energy. It loves to shake things up. It's a revolutionary. It wants to break shit. It wants to do things in a new way. And then we have Taurus, who wants to go all slow and steady, like, the tortoise and the hare, and win the race in their own way. These energies conflict, and these energies actually square one another. So we have a square going on between the Aquarius energy, the moon and Saturn, with the Taurus energy, the North Node, Mars, and Uranus. We're also having the Aquarian energy oppose the Leo energy. So it's happening real big, everything that we're feeling it in our whole bodies, we're seeing it in our lives, and then the Leo energy is also squaring this Taurus energy. So, the imagery that I have for you. You ready? Imagine a grandma, an elderly woman with a big ass pocketbook. And in this pocketbook, she picks up everything she thinks she's gonna need just in her day to day. And if not for her, for somebody else. So that means when she goes to the restaurant, she gets a ketchup packet and a wet wipe. When she goes to the restroom, she gets some of that good Kleenex and she puts it away for next time. Or if someone around her has a runny nose. She walks out the store and she finds change on the ground and she puts it in her pocketbook too. She is squirreling away resources for another time, whether for herself or for a community member that she will pass along her way and she will greet within her day. Now, one day, Granny has this sudden realization that what she has always desired, for the purposes of this example, is to be like an embroiderer. She wants to embroider scarves, she wants to embroider handkerchiefs, she wants to embroider people's names onto towels. This is her dream. She wants to create something so niche, but for the longest time she felt that she wouldn't make enough money, she wouldn't be able to sustain herself. It wasn't practical because of how creative it was and how niche it is. However, one day when she realizes, you know what? It's the time. It's really what I want to do. I'm not getting any younger. Here I go. She also realizes that all of the people that she thought she wouldn't have before, all the clientele, the possible clientele, they are going to be the people that she helped all along the way. They're the people she gave them Kleenexes to when their noses were running. They're the people that she gave some change to when she had a little bit for them to get on the bus. They're the people that she was supportive of and she freely gave to. In all of these different iterations of circumstances of their need, and they are going to be the people, or at least some of the people, who are going to support her when she steps out in this new way, doing the thing that she wants to do. People love to support you when you've supported them before, and you've supported with your whole heart, and you've given with your whole heart. They love it. They love it when you're doing the next thing. The people who really appreciate and value you, and really appreciate and value what you're trying to create. They just will. They'll find you, they'll follow you, they'll be loyal to you, they'll provide for you, they'll support you, just the same ways that they feel that you have done so for them. All right. So with these squares going on, she has this sudden realization, right? That's Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus. It has to happen right now. North Node in Taurus is covering this energy of, you know what? Actually, I'm going to be provided for, because all that Aquarian energy I have given to my community time and time and time again. I've invested in my community and they're going to invest in me. And so for her to do this in a Leo way, she has to take that pocketbook and she has to dump all the contents on the ground, because she needs to find out, does she have scraps of fabric for this to begin this endeavor? Does she have needles, the sewing kit that she needs? Does she have spools of thread of different colors, different thickness, different textures, so that she can create the beta line, the very first line of, I don't know, Ernestine's embroidery? I was like, I don't know who she is, but this is the energy that I was picking up. This is the vision that Spirit gave to me. This is the metaphor that I channeled. And it's so gorgeous to me. This is what's happening within the collective around this energy. This is one of the possibilities, because Uranus and Taurus kind of does what the fuck they want. And if this is an energy that resonates with you, let's continue. So, practically, in the 3D, you may be feeling a lot of pressure financially right now. You may be feeling like you can't make ends meet. You may be wondering what's going on and why it feels so hard right now. And this is something that's also happening to me. You know, we're all a part of the collective, so we tend to experience things at a similar time or in similar ways, whether directly in our own pocketbook that's straining and struggling, or whether indirectly, you know, let's say we work with others, our coworkers or our clientele are starting to struggle in this way. And I'm so grateful that I remember that I'm part of the collective. I'm so grateful that I have the relationship that I do with Spirit, so that when these things come up and they manifest, it doesn't stay as, oh no, woe is me. So let me tell you my story. My story this week. I got stories for days, I got stories for days, I got stories for days. So this week, for the first time in 2 years of working for myself, as a healer, as a counselor, as a spiritualist, as a creative, the first time in 2 years, I didn't receive a paycheck. You heard that right, yeah. When it was time to pay the taxes, when it was time to pay the expenses, personal expenses and business expenses, there was no money left over. For the first time in 2 years. And the first place I went was to work. And I just kept repeating in my mind again and again, there's not enough? I don't understand. Why isn't there enough? What did I do? What can I do? Why isn't there enough? Just repeating again and again and again, overwhelmed within, stressed, real stressed inside. And again, I say that I'm so grateful for Spirit, and I'm so grateful for my relationship with Spirit, because they reminded me of my basics. They reminded me of my pocketbook full of goodies, things that I've been collecting over the years, self-care strategies. They reminded me that I could journal. So I sat and I was journaling, and I found out all the things that I was feeling and all the things that I was afraid of in terms of this new experience in my reality. They reminded me that I can take a spiritual bath and I can infuse it with all my intentions, and I can speak over it, that I'm allowing and I'm receiving so much abundance, and that I can release the fears that I have around there not being enough, because there's always been enough and there will be enough. I've had my needs provided for so many times over. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a person that could help. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a home to stay in. There was a couch to sleep on. There's always been something. There's always been something when I really didn't have nothing to put down, 2 cents to rub together. Not one fathom, as my Nigerian people would say. Spirit reminded me that I could listen to affirmations and abundance frequencies. So I've been listening to them. There's one playing right now. I'm just gonna keep listening to them because I know that my vibration around money and abundance and wealth and prosperity, it needs more support at this time. Spirit reminded me that moving my body is really helpful, especially when I'm feeling big feelings, because it makes it so that the energy can move through me and it's not just trapped within. They reminded me that I could talk about it. They reminded me that I could create things like this video that I'm sharing now and whatever else gets created from this experience that I've had. They reminded me of my meditation practice. And I sat in meditation and then they whispered to me ideas of services that I can offer within my business that I'm not already offering. There is always opportunity and possibility when we shift out of the way. This full super moon in Aquarius, transiting Saturn in Aquarius, squaring all this Taurus energy, all this stability energy, all this energy around our resources and how we create security for ourselves is begging the question. Do you trust yourself to create the abundance that you desire? Do you trust life to help you create the abundance that you require? Do you trust spirit to follow through on their promises of you having the abundant life that you've asked for? And if not, what's standing in the way? There have been so many fears that I've been discovering. Old shit too, generational shit. Stuff that doesn't even have my name on it. Stuff that I inherited. You know how you inherit trauma? Yeah, you inherit narratives too. Stuff that I've witnessed in terms of witnessing people have a really, really hard time and stuff just go bad and bad and bad and worse. All of that came up. And then I had to remember my life. I had to remember my heart. I had to remember my experiences of when I didn't have and somehow eventually was provided for in some way, usually surprised way. Usually one that didn't take as much from me. Capitalism is a system that is built on the forced labor, the forced slave labor of indigenous and black and brown folks. It breaks the bodies of those on the margins. And it always needs more. It is never satiated. At this time, we are being asked to check in with ourselves. Are we feeling like we're just perpetually participating in a system, in a way of thinking, in a way of moving that is creating more and more of the same types of scarcity that we've seen in the larger collective? Or are we ready to check in to what we are capable of creating because of how substantial and massive and beautiful our souls are, our minds are, our imaginations are, our drives, our motivations can be when we team up with spirit. So that's my story. I really believe that every single one of us is going to need to check in on our individual needs and our individual fears to be able to shift through this and create something new for ourselves. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, ancestors for our highest good, spirit animals, ascended masters, we thank you so much and we welcome you in at this time. Thank you for being present with us when we ask. Thank you for guiding us and supporting us and helping us when we ask for support. Thank you for providing clarity at all times that you do. Thank you for bringing in signs and symbols and synchronicities when we least expect, when we're ready for it, or basically when we're able to allow and receive it. Thank you for being consistent even when we fall off from connection with you. Help me to channel a clear, concise, and a powerfully healing message for those in the collective on their ascension journey, on their healing journey, for those in the collective who are feeling financially strapped and strained right now, for those who are wondering what all is going to shift for them in terms of their abundance, for those who are wondering how their self-expression could possibly connect to their financial prosperity and their sense of security and freedom. I know that you all are living in an abundant frequency, vibration. I know it. I know that in the expanse of the universe, there is more and more and more increase. There just always is. You help us to remember that the universe lives inside of us. Help us to know that we are in this world but not of it. That we're gonna get to create things that we've never even dreamed of before, or that we've dreamed of but we never thought possible. Help us to connect to the parts of us that reflect you. Help us to use those parts of us to tend to the parts of us that feel wounded and broken and fearful. And of course, we welcome your support and your reminders and your care as well. The highest praise to our guides, to our ancestors, to the Divine Alchemist, to Christ consciousness, to the Holy Spirit, to our angels and archangels. And the highest praise, of course, goes to love, kindness, community, stewardship of this earth. The highest praise goes to you all. The highest praise goes to us as well. We are all we are because of you. We are all we are because you exist. And you all get to express yourselves through us. Thank you for this beautiful connection that we get to have with you. Remind us of how exceptional and amazing and wonderful we are, and give us the humility to be able to be thankful to you, all of our guides, all of our ancestors, to be thankful to you, ascended masters, for going before us, and to also be thankful to ourselves for doing the hard work, for showing up when it was hard, for going deeper when we thought that there was nowhere else to go, and for believing in our dreams. So much gratitude to go around. I cannot thank y'all enough. And I also thank myself, and I also thank each and every viewer that is listening and watching right now. Ashe. Hey Virgos. Ooh, I'm so excited to read for you. If you have a Virgo sun, a Virgo rising, a Virgo moon, a Virgo north node, a Virgo Chiron, or a Virgo Venus, this is the reading for you. And if you don't have a prominent Virgo placement, but you're just drawn to this reading by the title or the energy of it, welcome. I'm excited to read for you because you're an earth sign and I love Virgos and I have Virgo energy. And we're talking about money. And the way that I see it, Virgo, you and the bag are like this. You tight, you friends. Like, y'all in a whole lovey-dovey relationship with each other. Let's see what comes through in this reading as it pertains to your relationship with prosperity and abundance. Don't let pride get in your way, Virgo. I already have some thoughts, some questions. I'm wondering if, like, what might be getting in your way? What in terms of your pride? Are you having trouble asking for help from someone that you know might have the resources? Or are you having trouble asking for help because you don't want to find out someone doesn't have the resources? Or just doesn't want to help you? Let's find out. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords, the Everything is Fine card. This deck has two Ten of Swords. The Knight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. Trying to hold off from already interpreting because I feel like let me see all the cards first. I try different things every now and again. We have the Mother of Knives. We have Miss Ayda, or the High Priestess. We have the Free One, or the Fool. The Ace of Sticks. We have Judgment. And we have the Six of Coins a second time in your reading. So, Virgos, I love you so much. And we all know that you're prone to worry. So, what I'm seeing right now is that there's quite a lot of worry around you. Like, it's like chatter as it pertains to your finances, prosperity, abundance, or wealth creation. And you love to give, you love to offer to others what you have, the information that you have, the resources that you have. And what I'm seeing is that you get to keep connecting to how much you love to serve. You get to choose what resources you give, right? Like, you are the giver. You don't have to give $5 if you have $10 in your bank account. You don't have to. You can if you feel so called to. You can if you're checking your intention, and your intention is, with this offering, universe, please give back to me. I know that you'll give back to me. You're doing a sort of faith experiment with yourself and with your guides. Go for it. If it causes you more worry to give half of what you have, don't do it. Give something else. But giving is really important. It's a really important part of our spiritual practices, and it's also a really important part of you expressing yourself in the world, Virgo. So if you don't have money to give gratitude. Find a few people in your life, or find a few things in your life, or find a few feelings within your being that you are grateful for. Look around your space, look around your world, go for a walk. Get out of your head, try to, and sit in a space of gratitude. Are you grateful to be able to inhale and exhale? Are you grateful that you have a place to walk? Are you grateful that you have water to drink? Are you grateful that you're healing, that you're farther along than you've ever been before? Are you grateful because someone held the door for you? Are you grateful to see puppies that people are walking along your path? Are you grateful to get messages from the universe? Are you grateful because you believe in yourself more now than ever before? There's at least 10 things you could probably find some gratitude for. And that's you giving. That's you giving to the universe, that's you giving to yourself, or that's you giving to another person. And gratitude is free. It doesn't cost nothing. It doesn't cost any money. But what it does do is it aligns with the frequency of abundance. When we give, the law says we have to receive. You give, you receive. There's so many universal laws, and there's a law of circularity. Everything is connected. When you give, you tip the scales, and you have to receive. I thought the Justice card came out. It came out in the Leo reading. If you have a Leo placement and you are connected to Leo energy, or you felt drawn to the Leo reading, I would recommend you watch it, because they kind of had a different reading. It's not about their connection to self. It's actually about their connection to money. You and money don't really have an issue as much. But what I am seeing is you going on a journey, a spiritual journey, an internal journey, where you're letting yourself be free from the narratives, from the worries that have stated that you have to remain small, that you have to stay the same, that you have to be scared. Even when the money don't look right, that all that you can do next is to be scared. It's not true. You got lots of options. You can give something. You can be in gratitude. You can create something. You can meditate. You can do self-care things. You can soothe yourself. You have options, Virgo. And I know that it's painful right now. There's so much worry, and it hurts. It physically hurts in your body to feel the vibrations of resistance and of worry and of pain. It causes pain. Something I've been learning is that pain is a part of the human experience, but suffering is a choice. Suffering is one of the many choices that you have at this time, Virgo. Maybe you can make a list of all the options that come to mind. You could ask someone for help, for financial help. You can give something that you feel connected to. You can give an offering of gratitude. You can find, feathers in the world, feathers, coins. You can find little things. You can put them on your altar for your guides. You can give a word of thanksgiving or of prayer to your guides. You can ask them for help. You can support yourself. You can hype yourself up internally. Ask and receive. You get what you have the courage to ask for. Ask for help or support. Virgo, you don't have to do it all by yourself. Not at all. Nobody does anything all by themselves. They learned it somewhere. They practiced it a bunch of times. They have guides. They use the transits of astrology to help them. They waited until they had the energy. They learned it in a book, in a class, in a course. They were encouraged. Everybody has a whole community supporting them, whether in this plane of existence or in the ethereal level. Everybody has a number of parts within them working in synchronicity to create who they are. Everybody does. Whether we recognize it all the time or not, they're still there. The energies are still there to support us. Ask them. Ask them for help, Virgo. Ask your guides. If you don't feel comfortable asking people, ask your guides. Write it down, journal it. What is it that you want? Be specific if you want to, be general if you need to. What is it that you want? Ask. Find the courage. Don't let pride get in the way of you asking for what you need. And then if fear comes up after you've asked, in the middle space between receiving an answer from a person, from an opportunity, or from spirit, your guides, if there's fear that comes up in the middle space, tend to your fear. The fear doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. The fear just means you're scared. Tend to what's coming up for you. Tend to the worry. Be kind to yourself. But you got to ask. All right, Virgo? So if you were drawn to another reading in this series, like the Leo reading that I mentioned, I would recommend that you take a look and you see how you're gonna piece together all of the different messages that come to create what's going on for you. And if not, I will catch you in the future. Bye, Virgos. Take good care.